make some crazy noise. Come on, if you know that you are not just another statistic, make some noise. If you know that you're not going to have a baby outside of wedlock, women, I need for you to make some noise. He didn't help it out. Anyways, when we're dealing with young people, we got to make sure that we set the tone, we set the ambience. I mean, you know, MTV sometimes is much louder and much livelier than what we have now. So we got to make sure that we set the tone. So let me set the tone, all right? So y'all want me to do my professor? No? Pastor? Y'all just want me to keep it real?
Yeah.
Keep it real. All right, everybody take your hand and do it like this here. Quickly, quickly. All right, place your hand strategically on your chin like this. Y'all look at the panel, everybody. What did I just say? I said place it where? I said your chin, not your cheek. All right, it's something called mimetic aspirations that lead to anesthetizing conformities. But reality is that sometimes we fall prey to what we see everybody else doing opposed to what we hear people say. So we're going to say some things, the panel is going to say some things, the guests, they are going to say some things, and we want to make sure that it germinates in you. We want to make sure that when you leave this place today that it resonates with you. Because most of the time you're going to see you're going to do what the drug dealer is doing down the block. Or old girl who's doing around the way. You got to make sure that you listen to instructions and make sure you're not placing it on your cheek instead of your chin. All right, so this is your boy on the ones and twos. My name is Dr. Ken Howard. Let me share a little bit about my testimony. They didn't put me down as a speaker. They wanted me to share my testimony. First of all, give it up for Minister Sandra Adro and Talitha Cumi and everyone who did a wonderful, wonderful job in orchestrating this and putting this together. Listen, I didn't grow up in a home. In fact, I grew up in a home where there was limited educational opportunities. My mother was 14. My dad was 15 when I was born. So I grew up almost with an older mother or as a sister or older brother. By the time my mother turned 24, she had 8 children. At the age of 22, she began to abuse drugs. Thus, I'm the eldest of 8 children. 8 children. 6 different fathers between the 8 of us. Mother strung out on drugs. I vividly remember taking 1 can of wax beans and sharing it with 7 siblings. My house was the drug house. People ran in and out. My mother, sometimes we didn't know if she was dead or alive because she didn't come home for weeks at a time. I can tell you about my siblings. My mother selling my siblings their bodies for drugs because she was trying to get high. And I can go through all of that. But God had a purpose and a plan for my life.
Amen.
The same purpose and plan he has for my life, he has a purpose and plan for your life as well. Not only that, I was the first one to graduate from high school out of my family. Very first one to graduate from high school. I was able to go to college to get not 1 degree, somebody say 1, not 2 degrees, somebody say 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, but 6 degrees. 6 degrees. I was able to take my siblings out of foster care home in undergraduate school where I got 2 degrees and took care of them. And that was the most difficult time of my life, a full-time student, taking 4 teenagers who's growing and developing. And here it is, I have to take care of them. But I didn't quit. Somebody say, don't quit.
Don't quit.
Somebody say, don't quit.
Don't quit.
So I was able to get 2 undergraduate degrees. Then I was able to go to graduate school and get a master's in business. Then I was able to go and get another master's of arts in counseling. Then I was able to go get another master's of divinity, go to seminary. And then I was able to go get a PhD, everybody. That's not a player-hated degree either. Well, I was able to go get a PhD. And for 6 years now, I've been a college professor. Teaching at Oakland Community College, Wayne State University, Macomb Community College. I've been able to do that. See, just because you were born in a certain context, don't mean you have to be a product of that context. Because if you can see it, you can attain it. If you can see the invisible, somebody say, I can do the impossible. But it was perseverance that was the price for success. Maybe I don't need this. All right. So it was perseverance that was the price for success. I didn't tell you that my younger siblings and my mother, that out of my 7 siblings, 6 of them passed away. I can't do this. I can't do it. 6 of them passed away. 6 of them. And my mother, in 9.5 years, and I had to preach their eulogy. Each of them. I was pastor in a church. And I had to pastor and seen every year. My mother died. A sibling died. A sister died. A sister died. And 4 other brothers died. I got 1 brother left. See, the ultimate test of who you are as young people, because your life matters, the ultimate test is not in comfort. It's not in convenience. But the ultimate reality or the ultimate test of a man and woman is not in convenience. It's not in comfort. But it's one challenge. And it's in controversy. But don't quit. I know you see crazy stuff on the news. I know you get angry. I know you get frustrated. But I want you to know that you cannot allow aggression, your anger, your emotions to cloud your judgment. I know we're fighting for justice, but I'm here to tell you, don't quit. I see some of y'all young guys, man, y'all sitting here, man, I don't really want to be here, but I'm here to tell you, don't quit. Tell somebody, don't quit.
Don't
I hear
quit.
y'all saying, don't quit.
Don't
Your
quit.
money will get funny. Your change will get strange. Your credit won't get it. But tell somebody, don't quit.
Don't
You're
quit.
going to be tempted to do crazy things. There's going to be peer pressure. But tell somebody, don't quit.
Don't quit.
Tell them, don't quit.
Don't
Because
quit.
you can rewrite your narrative. You can redefine your story. I was able to redefine my story. That just because you were born in the hood, don't mean you got to be a product of the hood.
That's right. Come
So
on now.
let me say this.
Right.
There's something called social learning theory. We see all the stuff that's happening with Elton Sterling and Fernando Castel. We see all the crazy things happen, but there's something deeper than this. Our speakers need to know, our panel needs to know, the facilitators of this need to know that there's something deeper. There's something called the social learning theory. Everybody say that, social learning theory.
Social learning theory.
Why is that important? Because you deal with something called trauma. Most of you are descendants from slaves. And let's say if your great-great-great-grandmother, your great-great-great-grandfather was a slave. And how many know when you go through trauma, you're going to need somebody to help you out? See, I'm here to talk to those who's getting high on lean. I want to talk to those who are smoking bud. Those people who is being influenced by other things of this world. There's something, if your great-great-grandmother went through slavery and she never got intervention for that, she never got help for that, nobody ever helped her out, some type of counseling. Although your grandmother didn't go through slavery, your grandmother picked up what we call the social learning theory. See, we can't talk about this as a college professor, y'all, as a pastor, y'all. We can't just talk about marching. It's more than just marching. It's more than just youth rallies. It's more than that. Number 1, it got to be through prayer. Somebody say prayer.
Prayer.
Number 2, it got to be through social economics. It's an economical issue. The reason why we got people in the hood killing each other is because it's an economical issue. It's a deeper, you got to talk about the social economics. But here's what I'm saying, is that if your grandma didn't get help and your mama didn't get help, although they didn't directly influence slavery, they still didn't get help. And so they have certain traits. And so you learn those traits and you pick up on their traits. And it's something called that we continue to do. It's called residual impact. So guess what? Your daddy wasn't there because his daddy wasn't there. And then your daddy wasn't there, and it all affects us. It all affects us. Here's what's important. You got to think critically. Somebody say, I got to think critically. I got to think intentionally. Somebody say, I got to think intentionally. Because you got to understand that it is the goal of life is to make sure you got character and intelligence. Because character intelligence is the key to any success that you have in life. There's no greater danger
their sincere ignorance.